Hello, good morning. I'm excited to speak to you today about adding an advisory firm to your business, an advisory arm to your business that generates 6 figures of income. So let's dive on in. So the majority of you have already been advising. You are just giving it away for free. You know, when your client calls you up and asks you a question, or you're going through the numbers with them and they say, oh, actually, can you just tell me about this? Or you say, hey, I've had a thought. Here, have a look at this. And this is advisory because anything outside of the compliance work that you're being paid to do is exactly that. It is advisory, but sadly, you're not getting paid for it. And what we have to do is set up an official advisory part of your business. You have to stop giving it away for free. The advisory side of your business is the stuff that transforms your clients' worlds. It's not the compliance where you're ticking boxes for the government and making sure people are compliant. It's actually the real transformative work that you're doing with your clients. It is also very fulfilling and extremely impactful, but without having a structure in place, it can become overwhelming or you just keep giving it away for free. So what I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about how to have some structure in place so that you can charge really good money for the transformation you're giving your clients. And the thing is I have watched many, and I mean many, brilliant people try advisory, try moving into that advisory role, but they've walked away because you haven't had the foundation in place. And these foundations are what gives you the opportunity to transform your client's world. But on the plus side, it means you can charge for it rather than give it away for free. So what I'm going to do is build the foundation with you today. And it all starts with one question. And that one question is, how do you help people? How do you actually transform your clients' lives? What is it that you help them with? Because when we're clear on that, then we can articulate how we help people and show the value of that help rather than feeling like we have to give it away for free. Your business starts with a clear promise, not a list of tasks. So when you've priced compliance before, when you've been doing the work for clients, it's either done through, the pricing is either done through giving a list of everything that you do or the hours that you've worked. And people know what they're buying when they buy compliance work because they need their year-end accounts doing, they need their VAT doing every single month. They need to make sure that they are paying themselves and they've got their PAYE and they're paying the national insurance here in the UK. But when you're talking about advisory, it's very elusive. It's kind of like, hey, I can help you grow your business. But this is a very broad promise and it blends in with every other person who's marketing online, every other person who's saying to their business owner, hey, let me help you. So what we need to really focus on is having focused promises and making sure that they stand out. Because having like a better business or growing your business is really, really vague. Nobody wants to just grow their business. There is an underlying problem, an underlying thing that they want to achieve. So an example of a much better promise is fix your cash flow in 120 days. That's really powerful. So when we say, oh, I'm going to help you have a better business, nobody wants to pay for that. But if you're going to fix your cash flow in 120 days, and the knock-on effect of that is you're going to stop, laying awake at night worrying about whether you can make payroll next month, then that is super powerful and people will 100% pay for it. Next, it comes to the people that you help. So you've got clear on your promise. Now we're going to talk about the people. Who are you really here for? It's not business owners. Every business owner is probably a SME, small to medium enterprise. So I help SMEs, I help business owners is not a really good person to help because it's not specific. You don't get to be able to understand the real problems of your ideal client. So when we talk about people, it's about understanding their pain points before they even tell us what their pain points are. And you need to speak to those pain points in your marketing and give them a promise that overcomes these pain points. So when you're showing up and saying, hey, I can be a business advisor, we have to say, what are the pains that we help our clients overcome to become what they want to become? And each different kind of client is going to have different pains. If you work with hairdressers, they're going to have a different pain to an e-commerce business. If you work with manufacturing businesses, they're going to have a different problem to coaching businesses. So you need to understand your person and the pains that are keeping them awake at night. If you work with really large businesses with thousands of employees, that's going to have a different pain to a sole practitioner who doesn't have any employees at all, which is why we have to decide who is our person and what is the promise that we actually have and deliver to that person. If you can't get clear on these things, you're not going to stand out. You're not going to be able to actually charge what we call high ticket. And high ticket is where you actually charge for a really good transformation. Low ticket is where people pay a small amount of money to be in your world. High ticket is where they pay for a transformation. But once you understand the promise and the people, you can then start to map out the journey that your ideal client is going to go on, where they are. So it stops being a random conversation of, hey, buy my advisory services, and it's a structured, you are here at point A and I'm going to take you to point B, and you have this pain and I'm going to take you on this journey to overcome this pain. And that is the power of understanding the pathway that your ideal client is going to go on. All right. So we need to understand, who is it that you help? How do you help them? What is the promise and what's the pathway that you're going to take them on? And once you get clear on that, you are starting to stand out in the marketplace. Now let's talk about pricing. And this is where most of you freeze. Advisory is pretty intangible because that's the kind of thing where we say, oh, we can give you some help. And then how do we price help? Which is why we have to get the promise and the pathway and the person right? So what we want to do is start charging for the transformation that we give our clients, all right? So undercharging happens when you don't understand how amazing you are and the transformation that you give your clients. And we have to price on transformation, not the hours that you spend with your clients. And all too often, I see you guys saying, oh, it's £250 an hour or £75 an hour for advisory work. And this isn't pricing on transformation, it's pricing on time. So I want you to think in 3 layers of how we price. So we have the front end, the breakthrough, and the back end of your advisory model. Now, the front end is how your clients first experience your value. And often this is going to be free stuff. This is your free content. This is your webinars. This is you going live. This is creating your newsletters. It's your emails. It's any of your lead magnets that you give away. They are often free. Then when we have the front end, we then have the breakthrough example. And the breakthrough is a fast win that builds trust and momentum. So this is something that normally has to happen within 1 to 6 months. So a 90-day breakthrough is really good. And this is what I suggest a lot of my clients do. We have a 90-day container where you transform your ideal client's world in that 90 days. That then gives us the opportunity to then move them into a back-end offer. And this is your long-term advisory relationship. And this is where the transformation really compounds. This is where you work with your clients for 12, 24, 36 months, 5 years, 10 years or more. And this is where you make your profit. And this is where your clients become really profitable because they're working with you long term. So you have the front end, which is your free stuff. You then have the breakthrough way to work with you, which is your 90 days to 120 days work that they can do with you. And then you have the transformation, which is your back end. Then I want you to consider the way that you deliver this. So are you going to do it one-on-one? Are you going to do it group? Are you going to do it in a live cohort? Are you going to do it online? Are you going to do it in person? There's no right model, but there is a right model for you and your client. It's the one that aligns with who you are and the kind of transformation your clients want and what's best for your signature program that you create. And then let's talk about the final piece of running an advisory business. You have to promote. You don't get a choice. It is one of those things that if you want to sell a high value offer, you have to show that value before someone invests £2,000, euros or dollars a month with you. So if you're asking someone for 25k a year or 50k a year, or even more if you're doing very high value CFO services, you cannot get those clients without promoting yourself. Even the best advisory offer can't grow in the dark. If you are invisible, if you're what I call an industry ghost, you will never ever be seen, and therefore you won't get the clients. Visibility isn't scary though when you lead with value, which is why I show up and do what I'm doing, because actually visibility to me is a little bit scary, but I overcome that fear because I show up to help and serve, which is why I did a post the other day on LinkedIn talking about how I've had success using LinkedIn because I've always given value rather than trying to play the algorithm game. So now what I do is I show up and give value, and have done for 10, 12 years. And that has given me a very successful advisory coaching business, which has enabled me to impact the world a lot and actually charge good money for my services rather than give away my paid for stuff really cheaply, what I do is I give away my free stuff, and it's amazing and it's high value. And then when people are ready, they then move into my paid for programs, which is what I teach my clients to do. You don't need to be everywhere though, just consistently somewhere, which is LinkedIn for me, right? Your people can't buy from you if they can't find you. You will be that industry ghost, the world's best secret, if you're not there doing your marketing and promoting. You already have what it takes to be a trusted advisor. If you understand numbers better than the majority of business owners, which is something that you do, you're a finance professional, you're an accountant, you're a bookkeeper, you're a CFO, right? If you understand those numbers, then you need to be helping business owners, and you just need the structure to make it real and take all of that experience, all of that knowledge, all of that education that you have, who you are as a person, and turn it into a business advisory offering. So if you would like to launch or grow an advisory firm, then click on the link above or below this video for more details, and we can ensure that you get the support that you need to be able to work out what is the promise that you're going to give your clients, who is your ideal client, what is the pathway that they have to go on to transform their lives, how to price it, how to promote it, how to deliver it. When you get clear on those things, you will have an amazing advisory offer, and you will sell it either as a separate business, or you'll add it onto your accounting or bookkeeping business as a side hustle, or maybe you'll give up the accounting and bookkeeping and just have this business advisory business, which is absolutely phenomenal. And the way that we help you do that is listed in the video below or above this video. So do have a click on it. There's no opt-in required. You can go and watch it. You don't have to give me your name and email for it. It is free content. And if you would like to book a call with us and find out how to do that, then click on the book a call link that's attached to the video. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. You won't have a successful advisory business without the foundations in place. I show you how to do the foundations.